I was picking the boys up after practice when they're like, can we get Quick Trip? Actually, that was my plan. What would Quick Trip's take-home meals being, as the Quick Trip lady says, freshly made and absolutely delicious. But opportunity knocked. I go, if you let Dad give you haircuts, and they say, deal. At Quick Trip, the boys are like spaghetti, chicken tenders, mac and cheese. After an easy dinner, it was time to pay the piper. Dad's like, who's next? A deal's a deal.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
It's all about timing and rhythm for me. How I'm catching the water, what my legs are doing, my arm speed, the little things add up. I think I've been chasing time for as long as I can remember.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
I was picking the boys up after practice when they're like, can we get Quick Trip? Actually, that was my plan. What would Quick Trip's take-home meals being, as the Quick Trip lady says, freshly made and absolutely delicious. But opportunity knocked. I go, if you let Dad give you haircuts, and they say, deal. At Quick Trip, the boys are like spaghetti, chicken tenders, mac and cheese. After an easy dinner, it was time to pay the piper. Dad's like, who's next? A deal's a deal.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
Farming is more than just a job because it demands so much of you. Every day I'm with the people that I care about the most. We accomplish or we fail together.
Thank you for supporting Wisconsin dairy farmers. Look for the badge when shopping.
We farm because we believe this is the best place for us to raise our family. That they would be side by side with us, interacting with our animals and the land. That's part of growing up on a farm.
Thank you for supporting Wisconsin dairy farmers. Look for the badge when shopping.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Wisconsin is one of those certain places with certain people who do a certain thing better than anyone else, anywhere. In Wisconsin, we dream in cheese. Look for our badge. It's on everything we make.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 180,000 participants here in Wisconsin who take part in high school sports. There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Welcome to Eli Soccer Park for the 2021 Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association Girls Soccer State Tournament at Plymouth Engine Stadium and the Division III State Championship match. This match will feature the Spartans of McFarland High School and the Panthers of Plymouth Comprehensive High School. The McFarland Spartans are currently a perfect 15-0 overall and champions of the Rock Valley Conference with a record of 7-0. They earned the right to play today by winning their regional championship with a 10-0 win over the co-op team from Monroe Condoro and Fort Essex-Tupelo. Their sectional championship with a 2-0 win over Edgewood and a 4-0 win over the co-op team from Belleville and New Glarus. And the right to play for the championship with a 2-0 win over Eisenhower in the semifinals earlier today. The Spartans are making their fourth appearance at the Girls Soccer State Tournament and first in 14 years. They are also attempting to win their first Girls Soccer State Championship. The Plymouth Panthers have a perfect 18-0 overall and champions of the East Central Conference with a record of 7-0. They earned the right to play today by winning their regional championship with a 7-0 win over Ripon and a 7-0 win over Winneconne. Their sectional championship with a 3-0 win over Xavier and a 10-0 win over Freedom. And the right to play for the championship with a 2-1 win over Ashland earlier today. The Panthers are making this their second ever appearance at the Girls Soccer State Tournament and first in 22 years. While Plymouth has 5 boys state championships to its name, the school is attempting to win its first girls title in any sport. The WIAA requires good sportsmanship and education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege, with the expectation you will exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is both expected and greatly appreciated. Please be advised that the entirety of E-Line Soccer Park is non-smoking. The WIAA, the participants and all patrons in attendance, thank you for your cooperation. Exits for Plymouth Indian Stadium are located at the top of the hill near the main building and the northeast corner of the stadium. Please do not exit at the ticket entrance. Fans, it's now time for our match introductions. First, our officials. The referee will be Mark Freeman of West Bend. He will be assisted by Eric Bayer and Valentin Kotopenko. Now the first 11. First for the number 2 seed, McFarland Burton. In the forward midfield position, a 5'4" junior and a captain, number 10, Greta Love. Also in the forward midfield position, a 5'5" junior and a captain, number 21, Sydney Feldner. In goal for the Spartans, the 6'2" senior, number 1, Katie Hildebrand. In the midfield, this small forward freshman, number 6, Elise Freeman. In the midfield, with 5'8" junior, number 8, Grace Bruchel. On defense, with 5'6" junior, number 11, Jalen White. On defense, with 5'2" freshman, number 12, Emily Blackner. Next forward, with 5'11" junior, number 13, Avery Pelican. On defense, with 5'6" junior, number 14, Elise Gillen. In the midfield, with 5'8" freshman, number 20, Ava D. And in the forward midfield position, with 5'8" senior, number 22, Sarah Lexley. And head coach of the McFarland Spartans in his next season is T.J. DePincio. He is assisted by Lacey Dixie, Jessica Garvey, and Sheila Urbach McGill. Now the first 11 for the number 1 seed, Plymouth Panthers. In goal for the Panthers, a 6-foot senior and a captain, number 1, Beth Hughes. In the forward midfield position is 5'8" senior and the captain, number 10, Abby Blake. In the midfield, the 5'5" senior and the captain, number 14, Maggie Munson. In the midfield, the 5'3" senior and the captain, number 18, Emma Welch. In the midfield, the 5'6" freshman, number 2, Haley Beckner. In the midfield, the 5'7" junior, number 3, Ava Proof. In the forward midfield position, a 5'5" freshman, number 5, Helena Noel. On defense, the 5'8" freshman, number 7, Taylor Crickle. On defense, the 5'7" sophomore, number 9, Sarah Rush. On defense, the 5'5" freshman, number 12, Emma Adama. And on defense, the 5'7" sophomore, number 19, Ava Strossner. The head coach of the Plymouth Panthers in his 10th season is Brad Fike. He is assisted by Dylan Munson and John Lennon.
Tonight from Kohler Engine Stadium at the E-Line Soccer Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's the final game of the 38th annual WIAA Girls Soccer Tournament, the Division III championship matchup that pits the McFarland Spartans out of the Rock Valley Conference against the East Central Conference's Plymouth Panthers. Hello, welcome to our match broadcast on the NFHS Network alongside Greg Zonefeld. My name's Matt Menzel. McFarland seeded number 2, ranked number 1 in the final Division III state rankings. A perfect 15-0, and coming off, Greg, a 2-0 shutout semifinal victory against New Berlin Eisenhower.
And yeah, that was a war, played earlier today, and really saw some dynamic play up front. They got 2 goals in the first half, a penalty kick from Jalen White. You're going to see her playing in the back. Very seldom do you see a conference player of the year who's a defender, but Jalen White is the real deal. You're going to see that from her. And then Sydney Felder up front, Edgewood bound next year, had a beautiful goal to make it 2-0.
And both of those goals came in the opening 45 minutes. And for Plymouth, the number 1 seed, number 3 in the final D3 state rankings, they're perfect 18-0, coming off a semifinal 2-1 victory against the Ashland Ordockers, scoring the game-winning goal in the second half in the 64th minute, a goal by Maggie Munson. Both of these teams playing for their first ever state championship. It's the first time that Plymouth has been in the championship matchup. McFarland finds their way back into the final for the first time since a Division II championship loss to Catholic Memorial back in 2007.
Yeah, and right away we see Sydney Felder showing that same kind of pace she showed early. And looks like our AR over there on the far side, Eric Byer, sees an offside. Outstanding officiating crew here. I would say, many might say Mark Herdeman's the best in the state, and he's running the middle here tonight.
Yeah, Herdeman, Byer, and Valentine Potapinko, the assistant referees for this D3 championship matchup. A handball as Plymouth sports the all-black unis, McFarland in the all-white. So quite a matchup. Again, 2 teams that have yet to suffer a loss. And again, a first state championship for one of these programs.
Say something has to give with the 2 unbeaten.
No kidding, right?
But we just got done with a game that ended in a draw and went to penalties.
Emily Blattner on the attack for McFarland. They knocked off Sugar River, the co-op that is Belleville New Glarus, in a sectional final and qualifying for state for the first time since 2008. 4th time overall. You see the pickup with Katie Hildebrandt, the starting goalkeeper, 6'2", a senior. Came into the tournament sporting a 0.27 goals against average and a 92 save percentage. That shut out earlier today, the 11th on the year for McFarland.
Interesting for the Spartans, their top scorer, Avery Pennekamp, only played a few minutes in the semifinal. Had her foot in the boot after the match, and they've got her in here. Normally she plays more of a central mid position, but Coach TJ DePrizio making an adjustment, have her playing a little more up front. Try to limit the amount of miles on her.
We saw Pennekamp a second ago, sporting jersey 13 for the Spartans. Looking to test Tess Hune, the starting goalkeeper for Plymouth. A 6-foot senior, a second-team all-conference honoree now 2 times in the East Central Conference. A corner kick coming up here for the Spartans.
McFarland on these restarts, you're going to see Jalen White coming up from the back to take every one of these restarts, whether it's a free kick from 30 out or in this case the corner's got a big foot. They like to go far post here.
And a bouncer that's played by Gillen, the junior defender. Elise Gillen, one of the 12 upperclassmen on this roster of 20 for McFarland. And you talk about White, the conference player of the year in the Rock Valley Conference, a conference won by McFarland with a perfect league mark of 7-0.
Yeah, the kind of a mix of experience and youth. 5 freshmen will see action tonight for McFarland, and yet they also have that good senior leadership.
So put back into play by Tess Hune, coming off a 6-save, 1-goal allowed semifinal performance. Came into the tournament with a 0.20 goals against average and 91 save percentage. Throw in coming up here for the Spartans.
Plymouth playing that 4-3-3. Flat 4 in the back. We'll have to see how that matches up against the way McFarland likes to play. A little adjustment. Normally they're playing a 3-5-2, but switching Blau back into midfield as they push Pennekamp up. Greta Blau really had a fine game in the game earlier this afternoon.
And you saw a second ago, Grace Bruchel helping to create the turnover, a junior in the midfield for McFarland. Right there is Addie Plate for Plymouth. She was able to score the first goal for Plymouth in their semifinal against Ashland. It came off an assist from Maggie Munson, and it came in the 37th minute, but a penalty kick, and Ashland was able to score only their second goal ever in 6 state tournament appearances. On back is Ava Dean.
Dean will run a lot of miles on those outside sidelines. McFarland expecting a lot from those outside midfielders to really attack that sideline and try to play a little more compact with those 3 defenders.
Knocked away by White. Ava Strassner on this near side for Plymouth. And that ball's going the direction of McFarland after the ball bounced up on Emma Adama, the freshman defender. Checked it against the Spartans. So Adama helping to create that handball for this free kick. We had Sydney Feldner on this near side who was battling. That ball is put back into play by Emma Wells. Here's a look, and that shot up top from Addie Plate.
Nice job by Plate. Took her time. Sometimes the tendency is the player's going to rush that shot. Had the time, had the space, just couldn't quite get enough pace, and it was an easy pickup there for Hildebrandt.
This is an offense that can score, and they can score in bunches for Plymouth. Fresh off that semifinal victory a few hours ago, this is a team that now has been putting that ball in the back net 139 times. They have 3 players with 20 plus, led by Emma Welsh, but right there is Addie Plate along with Haley Bantzner. And Bantzner only have freshman status, again, among the many underclass status players that we've seen. Some very talented athletes we've seen on display over these last couple of days. Feldner.
She can turn on the jets. Boy, when she gets the ball in space or when they play some long balls to her, Feldner really able to turn on the wheels and go try to collect that one. That creates a chance down here in the offensive third.
And Strassner got back for Plymouth. Dean into the box, and now overcame Freeman. And a goal kick coming up here for the Plymouth Panthers.
Nice job defensively by Plymouth. Looked like they might have lost a mark on the far side, but putting enough pressure there on Freeman that she didn't have any space to really do anything with it, but trying to take a kind of a haphazard shot at net.
Now for the Panthers in qualifying for state, beat Ripon and Winnicott for a regional championship. Beat Xavier and then Freedom 10-0. Came into the state tournament with 7 consecutive shutouts. Had outscored their 4 postseason opponents 27-0. Second state tournament appearance, first since 2000, when that year they lost in a shootout following a 2-2 tie in the semis against a team that McFarland knows well, that being Monona Grove.
Yeah, tell me the last time you've seen a team win 10-0
in a sectional final. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it was 9-0 at halftime. In a game that would see Emma Welsh with 4 goals, couple of assists, and Addie Plate, 3 goals and 3 helpers. Battling hard there was Avery Pennekamp, and she comes in tops of the team with 17 goals, 6 assists. Sydney Feldner not far behind with her 38 points.
Big, tall, 5'11", target-type player, and just good to see her out here on the field and able to play. You know, you hate to see a player that's a key member of a team all the way through the season not able to play because of injury when you get up here to the state final on the biggest stage.
Yeah, powering through it, and you look at injuries, and for both of these teams, they've had their fair share of, nicks and knacks and bruises, but got nothing to, again, like some of the other teams we have seen here at state, nothing that has kept players out for any real serious time. A couple of injuries early in the season for Plymouth, but both players have been able to recover. That's one of the reasons why these two teams do find themselves at this point undefeated. They've stayed relatively, that's the key word, relatively healthy.
Well, the season, I don't care what kind of year you have, if it's a normal season or the kind of season these kids have had. And really, the spring season's been pretty normal, a little late in the schedule. But you get to this point in the year, you played a fair amount of soccer, and it's a brutal game. I mean, there's a lot of minutes, a lot of contact, and staying healthy. You see a lot of players with wraps and tape and things like that.
Well, Ava Dean on the pass from Greta Blau.
Really impressed with the speed of Strassner over there in the back for Plymouth. McFarland did not see any player with that kind of speed defensively.
Blow hitter attempt blocked. That was blocked by Sarah Welsh.
Yeah, New Bern Eisenhower didn't have that kind of speed to match up front with Feldner, but definitely Strassner, one with some wheels back there for the Panthers.
Knowles. That was sent behind Maggie Munson, who was also blessed with speed there for Plymouth.
Yeah, Munson's she's gonna run track or cross country in college, I think, isn't she?
Yeah, University of Wisconsin. Well, she's also going to pursue a law degree. Corner kick coming up here for the Panthers. Plymouth with a total of 6 corner kicks earlier against the Ordockers.
We'll get a little idea of what Plymouth's philosophy is going to be here on the corners. Players on each post and man marking with one rover there for McFarland. Not a lot of movement there by the Panthers.
Yeah, Batsner, yep, off that right foot. Here's Ava Booth. Emma Welsh, the angle, the spacing. We'll send it to the far post. And just missed with Haley Batsner.
Good opportunity over there for Batsner. Really like the ball that Welsh played there through the middle. Batsner a little wide of the post. Maybe had an opportunity to redirect it there in the middle, but just stepped right over it as she was going full speed.
Tara Gilbertson subbed to the Plymouth 11, the 5'7" senior forward. Had an assist on the Plymouth game-winning goal in the semi. That came in the 64th minute off the finish by Maggie Munson. Gilbertson with 6 goals and 4 assists. That assist being her 5th now. Batsner starting to see Plymouth getting into their attack as we progressed here in this first half. That 11 shots in that semifinal against Ashland, and a bulk of those came in the second half as only 4 were on goal. Emma Welsh and Knowles were the top shot getters with 3 apiece.
Plymouth spending a lot of time down here in the offensive third as we're 12 minutes into this one, and McFarland really struggling to get a good clear.
It's off the right foot with Freeman. You know, you look at that matchup too, and you saw it firsthand. Look at some of the numbers from that earlier semifinal between McFarland and New Berlin Eisenhower. And yes, the Spartans were able to set the tone thanks to a penalty kick. Jalen White in the 6th minute. Sydney Feldner was able to score in the 21st off an assist from Greta Blau. But you look at some of the numbers, and the Lions had more shots at 11-8, +1 in shots on goal. Yet McFarland was able to finish +3 in corner kicks. Also had 7 more fouls than New Berlin Eisenhower.
Yeah, especially in the latter stages of the game. McFarland was doing a lot of fouling just to kind of keep the ball in the central third. Jalen White, a really fine game. And Katie Hildebrand had a couple really big saves. Haven't seen her tested here yet in net, the McFarland keeper.
That was a game that would also see Emily Blattner issued a yellow card in the 76th minute. Jalen White back toward the attacking third with Pennekamp getting a touch. Freeman out to Booth. Coming around Ava Dean. Freeman. Nice pass back, and Greta Blau. This ball is going to carry beyond the south goal for Sarah Blakesley.
Nice job by Blakesley, though, stepping up there. We talked earlier about those outside midfielders, and that's the case where she got up into the attack and just trying to put the ball there toward the far post. Didn't quite get around on it the way she would have liked to.
Well, a goal kick here for Tess Hune. Attending Marquette University, will be a pre-med major.
Yeah, the academic abilities of these girls. I mean, we're seeing their soccer skill, but they're good students in the classroom, too.
Batsner, multi-sport athlete with basketball, tennis besides her soccer ability. All that as a freshman, too, taking on a busy load on top of her academic ability, was a second-team All-East Central Conference selection this spring for a team that won a perfect 7-0 in the ECC, good for first place above Kewaskum.
Yeah, the goal they gave up today, just the third opponent that's even found the back of the net on them.
Yeah, Waupun and Winnicott being the other two programs that found the back of the net, but even that Waupun game, Plymouth gave up 2 but scored 11, and it was a 6-1 win against Winnicott back on the 25th of May.
Yeah, to say that they dominated the East Central Conference, I don't know if dominant is the right word, but they totally controlled every match that they played there. And, you know, interesting to see them here match up against a McFarland team that also went unbeaten.
Fellner, well, you look at just overall Plymouth, I think you're right. I think dominant is a great word only because you look up and down this list, 8 games in which they scored 10 or more goals. And I mean, that's pretty dominant. And right now it's McFarland trying to find the back of the net off a corner kick. A couple of these here in this first half of play.
5 wide, here comes the flood to the near post. Didn't quite get around on it, did Jalen White. Tried to run 5 players there to the near side of the box, but weren't able to get the ball connected. But now they got a little space.
Freeman passes it off before trying to get the pass right back from Bruchel. And that look for Greta Blau.
Plymouth there kept their 7 players behind the ball. Weren't able to transition out and didn't offer many shot angles. Blau found a little light, but Hune there to catch that one easily.
So Blau sporting the captain's band along with Sidney Fellner, the 2 captains for this 2021 Spartans team.
Interesting thing about McFarland, in 2019, they actually finished the season undefeated. They were 18-0-3, lost to Sugar River on PKs, and now this year 15-0. So not too many teams, nobody else in the state's gone 33-0-3 in their last 36 matches.
And again, they too have been dominant when you look at some of their scores, and they've been able to find the back of the net on a fairly regular basis, going back now the last couple of seasons. We got 6 seniors right now leading the way and trying to help in some cases with the 5 freshmen and 3 sophomores make that adjustment after the 2020 campaign was canceled. When we take a look at history for McFarland, last time they suffered defeat, a sectional semifinal, June 7th, 2018, 1-0 against Edgewood.
Haven't lost a match since 2018.
Yeah, think about that. Off the turn by Bruchel. It really hasn't even been all that close. There have been a couple of 1-goal games this season, but otherwise they've had some sizable wins. Looking for a goal here, and it's off the post! 2 looks, 2 opportunities for Avery Pennekamp, not to be, and Tess Hune able to cover up.
Tess Hune's going to go kiss that crossbar. Honestly, a square post that might have been in, but the round post had bounced out. And then the loose change, almost lost it again. And that's the golden opportunity so far that we've seen. Avery Pennekamp breaking through the line of defense. But Tess Hune able to come up big.
And Pennekamp able to stick with it, and nearly on the second effort got the attempt to go. Booth with Blattner. Goal kick here for McFarland. After that sequence, on the attacking end for the Spartans.
And give Pennekamp a lot of credit. Often players will take that shot, see it hit the post. They'll stop on the play and get all down on themselves. She's kept scrapping toward that ball and almost got the second chance to get in the net.
Addie Plate subs in for Plymouth. Head over heels goes Chloe Kulo. And Cindy Fellner, as you mentioned, the future Edgewood College Eagle. Will stay in the Madison area. That got by Ava Booth. And sent ahead. As Addie Plate Trying to find Spacey.
Emma Welsh, a nice job to keep that ball on her foot and go down the sideline. Keep the Panthers on the offensive here.
Strasser on the throw. An interesting fact about Ava is the fact her uncle, part of the Plymouth Boys State Championship team. In 2002, they won a Division II title. That year, speaking of an Edgewood team, an Edgewood High School program by a 2-1 score that year. And now Plymouth girls trying to win its first ever state title. And you can imagine some of the family get-togethers where the uncle and now, in this case, Ava Strasser can brag about their state championship stories and wins.
Well, McFarland kind of has the in-school battle going here as the boys won the all-fall season in Division II. And I'm sure the girls would like to get a twin gold trophy, sit in the trophy case right next to that and make 2021 the year of the Spartans.
Kind of odd to see the Division III field, and we've talked about this in other games, but not see Catholic Memorial here with their dominance. At one point winning 6 consecutive state championships. A couple in Division II before dropping to Division III. But even these teams, once upon a time D2, moved to D3, and in fact in Plymouth's case, they were Division II as recently as 2019.
Yep, the shifting of some of the demographics, a few more schools.
See White off of Freeman.
Got a counter opportunity here because White left the middle. Goes a foot race back there, but Elise Gillen all over that.
You could see Plymouth trying to get Maggie Munson involved, and I'll tell you, she's one of those players, if you can give her some open field to work with, look out.
Yeah, it has that extra burst, you know. Sometimes you don't think soccer's that much of a game of speed, but that ability, and it's not always so much the straight speed, it's that first 3 strides once in a while that if you can get those first 3 strides, that explosiveness, that can really create a lot of opportunities, especially for an offensive player.
I've watched Emma Welsh today, too, brings that physicality. Feldner had it taken right back by Strasser. On the turn, Munson. And it's out off of Munson. Right in front of the Plymouth faithful. They don't agree, but the Spartans off the turn with Sydney Feldner. Emma Welsh on the centering pass.
Right in front of the linesman. It sounded like it was across the field. But obviously the Panther faithful thought differently on that one.
Well, Munson on the outside with Chloe Kulo. Trying to go back of the field. And Megan Gates. Gates on that far side along with Grace Bruchelle for McFarland. And again, that speed on display with the cut in for Sydney Feldner. Man, she's got some wheels too for the Spartans and their success.
Great help defensively there by Welsh. Emma Welsh, I should say, as we keep the sisters apart.
Yeah, there's quite a couple of different sister combinations on these rosters. Going back with Sarah Welsh. A lot of family connections with these programs. Not only these two, but among the 16 teams we have seen here at state these last couple of days.
Having coached my own sons, Matt, pretty special when your kids can play together and especially get a chance to play at the state tournament, win plaques and those kind of things. Lasting memories and for moms and dads, but for those kids, those are things they carry into those family conversations for a lifetime.
We also have seen, from a coaching standpoint, a number of teams where maybe the team hasn't been to state in a number of years. The previous coach is still on the staff, but now in an assistant role with a new head coach that's taken over, or vice versa, where one assistant now has become the head coach. And you look at TJ DePrizio, he was an assistant the last time McFarland qualified for state back in 2008. Now all of a sudden here he is, nearly a decade at the helm, and he has this team back here for the first time in 13 years.
And his assistant coach, Jess Garvey, was a player on that team. So, really building that kind of consistency in programs. The top programs you see in the state are really those ones that have that tradition, have that heritage, and really builds that depth into the school culture as well.
That 2008 squad lost, technically a tie in record-keeping purposes, 0-0 draw in a semi against Catholic Memorial, but lost the shootout 4-3. And that was the year that Catholic Memorial did not win a state championship. They lost to Xavier 1-0, but I'm guessing that McFarland's one of those teams happy not to see Catholic Memorial across the way because they also fell to the Crusaders in 2007 in the D2 championship match of 4-1.
I mean, nothing against Catholic Memorial. Has nothing
good.
Against anything else. They're just really good, but I'm sure these teams are relieved not to see them. And Coach Burke has stepped down and retired now, taking over at Bryant and Stratton College. And
that he has.
I'm sure you're going to see big things come out of that program. He's John, just a master Hall of Famer, National Hall of Fame coach, and did a lot for soccer and continues to do that for the state of Wisconsin.
Well, I mean, all he did was win 540 games, lose 59, and tie 45. I mean, I was going to say I'm not a math whiz, but that's a heck of a winning percentage. On top of 14 state titles between Westside and WIAA. So on back with Plymouth, Sarah Welsh, Tess Hune.
Nice ball by Hune. Really love it when your field players can play that ball, or your net miners, I should say, can play the ball with their feet. So often they don't have that skill, and I think coaches don't always emphasize enough the one-on-one ball drills that your goalies need to do. Such an important part of their game.
Well, coming across, the Spartans do, but giving it back to Ava Booth. Strassner into the midfield. Emily Blattner out of the back for McFarland with Gillen going to the outside. And Jalen White. Good step up for Kulo. And the Panthers back on the prowl. We'll find Addie Plate.
Good off-ball runs being made by Plymouth. Most notably there by Munson.
That was off her head. And to the end line went Emma Welsh. Another goal kick here for Katie Hildebrandt and the McFarland Spartans.
Was watching off ball as the ball went down the left side, and Maggie Munson, full sprint down the center of the field, was rewarded there and almost set up a pass as well. But that all comes from her good, hard effort off the ball.
How about the start so far in this one that sees McFarland up 6-1 in shots, 2-1 in shots on goal. So far, a couple of shots taken by Blau, and that being Greta Blau, and a couple of shots taken all in that same sequence for Avery Pennekamp. But again, finding ways to generate opportunities, and so far have been limiting the chances to this high-powered Plymouth attack.
Booth with a beautiful turn.
And a little bit too far is that feed for Booth from Plate.
The dads down below knew that could have been a nice opportunity with a little bit softer touch. And beautiful turn by Ava Booth. Really impressed with the way that she's able to control the ball there against the pressure coming from Dean.
You bring up the dads. How about the fan bases overall? Great turnout on this Friday for both sides. Fans as far as the eye can see for both McFarland and Plymouth. Nice student section too. Remember, it's summer break. But they have come out.
A little harder to round up the fan bus for that.
It is.
It's got some Plymouth dads I saw before the game with the Panther pants on. One grandpa looked like with a basketball jersey on, and really getting into the spirit. A lot of orange sitting down here below to our right.
Overall, these 2 days, great fan turnout for both fields. Number of fan buses as well, and I think Assumption brought their entire school and then some, and you had Ashland making the 5.5-hour trip, a number of their fans as well earlier for semifinal play in D3.
People are just excited to be able to actually come to games.
This is true.
And be able to enjoy it. And good to see the WIA at the state track meet. Limited some attendance and then opened up some more tickets. Great for people to get to be a part of that spectacle. I know a little bit different format with every division and everything a little different. We look forward to next fall. Quite sure we're going to see a normal year in 2021-22. At least we certainly hope so.
Hoping to get back to 3 days of boys state soccer, November 4th through the 6th. As of right now is the scheduled date for that event. As the lights flicker on here at Uline Soccer Park. 30th minute, and we have no score.
Yeah, pretty even play. Had some good chances, most notably the save and the post shot that McFarland had. I did not go check. Didn't watch if Tess Hune kissed the post.
There's a goal. Another for Addie Plate.
Nice job by Plate. She was able to collect the ball. A little bit of a difficult bounce. Defender took a little bit of an off angle. The Plate was able to get clear. And it isn't often that one gets by Katie Hildebrandt. In fact, that's just the third goal this season that has gotten by the goalkeeper for McFarland. But they get one by there, and Plymouth draws first blood in this one.
And Greg, she was the tone setter in the semi, scoring the first Plymouth goal in the 37th minute. She's the tone setter now in this championship matchup, scoring in the 30th. And Addie Plate has given Plymouth a 1-0 lead off what is their 140th goal of the season.
Good patience by Plate. Senior, sometimes players are going to rush that. She took a little bit of extra time to set up that touch, put in a really good shot. Hildebrandt tried to get down and get it, but couldn't quite get there in time.
27th on the year for Addie Plate, and she is now rewarded with some rest, being replaced in the lineup by Tara Gilbertson. So Addie Plate, she'll be attending University of Wisconsin in the fall, was a first-team All-ECC attacker after being a All-Conference second-teamer in 2019.
Yeah, those experienced players, some of these seniors, able to weather that off year. 10th year for Coach Brad Fike, and you know, he's got his players really, has a good system going here in Plymouth. They've been good for a long time. Surprising that it's taken them this long to get back to the state tournament, but again, some of that's determined by how your draws end up and who you end up playing in the sectional.
You bring that up, and you talk about the system, and I am curious to watch, because we talked about this in the Division IV final as well. You look at depth, you look at what these players going to look like, what's this matchup going to look like as we get later and later on this Friday. Plymouth is a team that fitness is a big strength of theirs, and that's something they have emphasized even before they knew the format would be this way. A number of the players play 90 or nearly 90 minutes match in, match out, and he said this has helped with substitutions as we have been able to substitute by choice, not out of necessity, that according to Coach Brad Fike, and no different than earlier semifinal for Plymouth, in which they end up playing a total of 14, but again, most of the players asked to play a good 90 minutes. There was really no drop-off in that semifinal. We'll see again, though, now being in a situation where they're playing 2 games in one day. They haven't done it all year if there's a little bit of a drop-off, but so far they've brought that energy in this first half.
And McFarland dug down into their lineup a little bit, playing primarily 14 players. Did come up with a couple additional players there in the second half. They have a lot of players that played a lot of minutes. Some of that came by necessity. Once again, when Avery Pennekamp got hurt, when you have a key player that plays a lot of minutes get hurt, that really changes some of your rotations. But I thought TJ DiPrizio really managed that well, he and his staff.
Now a break for the ball for Sydney Feldner to the end line, but ruled out.
She's got that little burst of speed. That ball played a little bit out too far in front of her. Again, I'd like to see the combination there of Feldner and Blau. They're able to do some good 1-2 play in the semifinal. See once if they can't get that going once again.
Haley Batzner subbed in for Plymouth.
And Stella Blau in now. Freshman sister of Greta, as they sent Pennekamp to the bench, give her a little break. Blau did a nice job in the semifinal earlier this afternoon.
That was a game that would see McFarland play a total of 15, and Stella Blau logged 60 of those minutes. And Megan Gates a good 73, and Gates already is subbed into this one. She's been playing over 17 minutes now in this first half.
Couldn't quite connect that time by Stella Blau, which is a good, solid physical player in the midfield.
Good step up by Emily Blattner. Gonna go outside with Bruchelle. Megan Gates on that right side for McFarland, sporting jersey 18, as Plymouth will throw it in.
Time Gates dove inside, and Blau thought she was going to be out to the wide play. And he yinged instead of yang.
Well, Stella Blau. And again, you see Plymouth on the push. Kulo. Plenty of backup to keep the attack alive. But then it was sent behind Tara Gilbertson. Out of midfield off the cleat of Sydney Fellner. Going back outside, Greta Blau.
Really, really nice turn by the defender there for Plymouth. If she doesn't make a clean touch on that, Blau's going to have it and go free around the wing.
A Panther throwing for Chloe Kulo. They call her the super sub. Plays a little bit of everything from midfield to defense. She's played 18 plus first half minutes so far for the Panthers. Over came Sarah Welsh. And this tossing now for Megan Gates.
I've really seen Jalen White coming up and getting involved in the attack. Watch for her to come up and press that issue just a little bit, especially with Blau in there. Blau does a good job of rotating back defensively. That is Stella Blau. Sometimes gives Jalen White an opportunity to get in there. She's been pretty quiet in this one. Certainly wasn't quiet in the first game today. Had the penalty kick goal earlier, but was a big factor in some services.
Taylor Trakel, a freshman defender, back on for Plymouth. With Gilbertson on the move. Pick up here for Hildebrandt. You mentioned a basketball bound at NDSU, North Dakota State University.
Three-sport athlete, also on their state semifinal volleyball team. Like to see these kids, sharing the loves of some of their friends and their teammates. Maybe not their best sport, but yet they can contribute and help each other.
Again, that was an alternate season for girls volleyball. So it's been a busy stretch because, okay, that ended, that's toward the, beginning of May, middle of May, and all of a sudden you start to see that overlap with the soccer season beginning that first week of May. You talked about McFarland's boys soccer team, part of the alternate season. They got to the Division II final and took home a title against Notre Dame Academy up in Fond du Lac with St. Mary Springs hosting from Marian University. And that ended in mid-May. So, I mean, it's been a wild month for a number of athletes involved in those alternate seasons. But bravo, too, to the WIAA for finding a way to make that happen. This ball is lifted up and out of play by Sydney Fellner because, in some cases, I know it was talked about a lot with the boys' alternate soccer season. A number of the athletes said, man, it was a roller coaster of emotions where you get to the fall, do we have a season, don't we have a season? Oh, hey, it's canceled. Then you don't know if you will get the opportunity to play again, and then the alternate season option became reality. And as you mentioned, McFarland boys, for instance, bringing home a Division II title and will be part of the special history of hopefully one-time alternate season. Bringing on that title last month.
Yeah, and give Dave Anderson, the staff of the WIA, and the Board of Control some credit. You know, some of these counties were really locked down, and those kids didn't get that opportunity. And through that flexible scheduling, and they were even allowed teams that started in the fall and then got shut down due to COVID and were able to restart their seasons. In a lot of ways, it's been about the kids, and no one wants to go through what we did last spring. And this year, with very few exceptions, every team was able to have a season. Maybe not the normal season, but they were able to have a season.
Here's a chance. Off the left foot on a goal scored by Sydney Fellner. Tie game in the 39th minute.
Nice little slotted pass, and Fellner broke through and was nice and patient, read the goalie, Sometimes the tendency is to shoot that ball too quick. Had the right amount of pace. Perfect side netting shot. Plymouth defenders go in there to support their goalie, Tess Hume, because you know what? There's nothing Hume can do. It's not just any player. It's a top-notch player like Sydney Feldner comes in and just buried that in the side netting.
Great burst of speed. And a tie game nearly 9 minutes after the Panthers were able to take the initial 1-goal lead. Sydney Feldner on that finish. She has now scored a couple of goals on this day, scoring one in the semifinal.
And you hear the, well, you can just see the jolt that it's given McFarland. A little bit more spring in the step, and definitely the fans getting a little more into it. Different score when you're all drawn at 1-1 rather than when you just gave up the goal that you did. But they didn't wait long. Inside the 10 minutes after that first goal, and they get the equalizer.
And Greta Blau on the assist, so captain to captain. And the captains have the Spartans all even at 1. That comes off their 8th shot, 3rd on goal. Right now they're +6 in the shot department, +1 in shots on goal.
Blau had the assist to Feldner in that semifinal as well.
No, I mentioned it earlier. When you look at shots, it's a little surprising when you look at the total, because I'd make the argument that Plymouth may only have 2 shots to their credit, both on goal, but it just seems like they have put pressure on this McFarland back line quite a bit.
Yeah. You know, it's been a game where there have been some swings here. Now the last few minutes, it's McFarland been in control.
So Feldner trying to return the favor to Greta Blau, but a push by Blau, a foul.
You know, as a coach, I never minded those fouls by your forwards. You know, they're making a good aggressive play on the ball. Nothing's hurt on that foul. 70 yards, 80 yards away from the goal. If you don't call it and the ball falls through, you might have a chance.
Emma Welsh. '41st minute.
Been a good one, Matt. Good burst by both teams. Entertaining game for the fans here so far.
And again, it's all coming after these teams have been off for about 4 hours since their semifinal victories. Had to wait a little bit longer, not much, but a little bit after the posted start time with the previous championship game decided in a shootout.
Temperature has settled a little bit, a little cooler than what we had for that 4 o'clock game for Division 4.
Yeah, not bad at all. On that outside with Chloe Kulo. Off the left foot of Jalen White. Panthers stepping back in front on the turn by Addie Plate. That's going to roll into the Plymouth bench area as we are less than 4 minutes away from halftime.
Fans wanting a handball call. Mark Herdeman letting that one go. No impact on the play at all. Fans often think it's a handball. The reality is it's called handling. And again, the referees we have here at the state tournament, quality referees, and only going to call that if there's definitely a distinct advantage on it.
Yeah, they're here for a reason. As Booth, just like these teams, these officials earning the right to be here, and it's not a guarantee every year. They certainly get the recommendations from coaches. Their performances are rated. Going down for Plymouth, Emma Welsh. And there's some crews, and you know this, that are here on a regular basis because, again, just that quality, that standard. They have that. They're well respected by just about every coach or team that they officiate throughout the course of the year. And great to see some familiar faces, as you mentioned, with this crew, too. I mean, it's been seems like a regular event for these three, and here they are again officiating this Division III championship matchup.
There's a big high school game in Milwaukee. The assigners are probably going to give it to this crew.
Ball is brought in with Katie Hildebrandt following the Plymouth corner. That involving Munson.
Wow, nice punt by Hildebrandt.
It's off the head of Feldner. Getting the pass right back. Nifty move. Leaves it for Blau. And
great
sent
pass
away by Kulo.
What a great pass, you know. Trying to anticipate where where her teammate Blau is going, and knowing that she's making that straight run down the field, tried to do the square ball. It didn't materialize, but it was in a perfect spot.
A couple of players tumble down.
Really key for Plymouth here to hold the line in this last 2 minutes. You don't want to go to half down a goal, and McFarland definitely with the momentum right now.
Well, aggressive with Cindy Feldner.
Again, that's another one of those plays that I was talking about a little while ago. Nothing hurt if you foul. Might as well be aggressive as a forward. That's like sometimes everyone complains to get an offside here or there. I like a few offside from those aggressive forwards trying to push the line and break through, and referee might not see it quite right, and you might find yourself with a breakaway.
Going back outside, Greta Blau. On back with Blattner. Blau. And a foul. That's going to occur atop the 18 with Cindy Feldner hitting the turf.
Dangerous opportunity here. Let's see if they're going to pull. They're going to pull Jalen White up to take this one. They are not.
Bruchelle on the free kick for McFarland, and a 4-player wall back up the necessary 10 yards for Plymouth.
Going to hold the line and move up here.
Bruchelle goes wide.
Chose to go low ball, almost under the wall. Thought maybe she tried to bend that far post, but nevertheless a good opportunity. And if you're a Plymouth fan, you're breathing a sigh of relief, because boy, you get those free kicks at this level with players that close to the box, those can spell danger.
Just missed Edner's 7-goal total. Final seconds ticking down. This game will go into halftime even at 1 goal apiece for the Division III championship. The Plymouth Panthers and the McFarland Spartans. Stay tuned. Second half just around the corner. You're watching continuing coverage of the 38th annual WIAA Girls Soccer Tournament on the NFHS Network.
I was picking the boys up after practice when they're like, can we get Quick Trip? Actually, that was my plan. What with Quick Trip's take-home meals being, as the Quick Trip lady says, freshly made and absolutely delicious. But opportunity knocked. I go, if you let Dad give you haircuts, and they say, deal. At Quick Trip, the boys are like spaghetti, chicken tenders, mac and cheese. After an easy dinner, it was time to pay the piper. Dad's like, who's next? A deal's a deal.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
It's all about timing and rhythm for me. How I'm catching the water, what my legs are doing, my arm speed, the little things add up. I think I've been chasing time for as long as I can remember.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
I was picking the boys up after practice when they're like, can we get Quick Trip? Actually, that was my plan. What with Quick Trip's take-home meals being, as the Quick Trip lady says, freshly made and absolutely delicious. But opportunity knocked. I go, if you let Dad give you haircuts, and they say, deal. At Quick Trip, the boys are like spaghetti, chicken tenders, mac and cheese. After an easy dinner, it was time to pay the piper. Dad's like, who's next? A deal's a deal.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
Farming is more than just a job because it demands so much of you. Every day I'm with the people that I care about the most. We accomplish or we fail together.
Thank you for supporting Wisconsin dairy farmers. Look for the badge when shopping.
We farm because we believe this is the best place for us to raise our family. That they would be side by side with us, interacting with our animals and the land. That's part of growing up on a farm.
Thank you for supporting Wisconsin dairy farmers. Look for the badge when shopping.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Wisconsin is one of those certain places with certain people who do a certain thing better than anyone else, anywhere. In Wisconsin, we dream in cheese. Look for our badge. It's on everything we make.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 180,000 participants here in Wisconsin who take part in high school sports. There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Sydney Butler. Just a reminder, fans, stick around for the award ceremony after the conclusion of this match.
To half number 2 we go from Kohler Engine Stadium, Eline Soccer Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Division III championship matchup, all even at 1 goal apiece between McFarland and Plymouth. Addie Plate scoring the Plymouth goal in the 30th minute. Equalizer for McFarland came in the 39th. Speed, the key, as Sydney Feldner able to score. That came off an assist from Greta Blau, a first after which she shots at 9-2 McFarland, up 3-2 in shots on goal, both teams with a couple of corner kicks.
Really entertaining first half, Matt, and strap them on here. We're in for a great second half as well. Maybe one of the best games we've seen in the tournament so far.
Yeah, one of these teams will win their first ever girls soccer state championship. 4th state appearance for McFarland, first since 2008. Plymouth, their second ever and first state tournament appearance since 2000. We're going to start early, and McFarland, they have taken a 2-1 lead. There's that combo again of Greta Blau and Sydney Feldner.
Just like that, they put the ball down the field. Greta Blau getting the goal this time, and just pure hustle, good quick attack, a little bit of confusion in the back by the Plymouth defense, and we've got a lead here for McFarland with a quick start to half number 2.
I mean, don't blink. Half the fans still in line at the concession stand. Looking for an answer. Almost got it, too, with Haley Batzner.
Oh, my goodness.
Put 20-plus seconds in, Greta Blau from Sydney Feldner, and then next thing you know, a response there for Haley Batzner in Plymouth.
Have to go back. We don't have replay capability here. I don't know if they ran a set play off the kickoff. Once in a while, you'll see teams do that. Run the set play and try to pound it. They had Blau running side by side with Feldner, but give them credit. Little confusion in the back, took advantage, and sometimes that's what's got to happen. You just have to take advantage of the few opportunities that you might get in this game.
That's a fun combo, though, to watch. The two co-captains, Greta Blau, Sydney Feldner. Boy, those two make a lot happen, and they both seem to be on the same page, know what one another is at all times. Blau now with 1 goal and 1 assist. Feldner now with a goal. She has a couple of shots with now a shot on goal, in the goal.
Interesting to note as we begin the second half, I don't see Avery Pennekamp on the field, so she's on the bench. Played about 25, 30 minutes in the first half. She is not in, so a little adjustment there for McFarland and Coach TJ DePrizio.
First time Plymouth has allowed multiple goals in the same match since May 4th. 11-2 season opening win against Waupun. So an oddity here to find themselves down 2-1. Foreign territory for the Plymouth Panthers against a McFarland team that has not suffered a defeat since the 2018 season ender.
I'm wondering if Plymouth's been behind all year, Matt. So really key time. This is the point where you want your seniors, your leaders to step up and settle your team down. Plenty of time to go here. But McFarland really putting the pressure on right now. Nice show that time. Addie Plate, the goal scorer, really coming back to win the ball. And here wheeling and dealing is Batzner.
Hard foul on the backside. That's going to go against Jalen White.
Hard foul and a smart foul. White was beat, grabbed her arm, and then eventually just ran her over. But this is a dangerous opportunity here, and you can see that McFarland, the Spartans, recognize that as they drop 9 players back behind the ball, 3 in the wall, matching man on man with Plymouth on the far side. Let's see if they try to run a little lateral run action toward that far post.
Emma Wells trying to get the bend. Really tucked it upper 90, but it continued to carry out.
Good hard shot. Nothing about a pass there. Clearly going for that upper corner and had good pace on it, just a little bit high.
Boy, I'm not in the predicting business, but I'll tell you this, Greg. If The first, almost 4 minutes or any indication, we could be in for quite the wild ride here for the duration.
I can't imagine the score is going to stay 2-1 with these two teams.
Not the way, again, the pacing has been to start. Goodness. And again, bravo to Plymouth to respond right away after giving up the goal. Yeah, they have not scored that equalizer to this point, but they put the pressure right back on.
And really working to find space. They seem to be keying a lot up there with Batzner. Maybe they like that matchup, Batzner over here on this left side.
Greta Blau. Going to slow her down with Sarah Welsh.
Love the one-on-one contact that's happening, just all these little battles. Both these teams really playing some outstanding soccer, and that's what you really want to see when you get to this stage. And again, both these teams played just the full 90 in that first match, so not one of them with a disadvantage like we saw, although Brookfield Academy, despite playing the extra time, they were able to get going here. Now we got a corner.
And coming over for these Spartans will be Jalen White.
Hasn't had the good services like she had earlier today. Let's see once if she put some nice bending balls in, and they got six players now into the pattern.
Headed out. And tracked down with Ava Dean.
Nice flick header there by the Plymouth defender. Breaks up the rhythm of the play. And really forces McFarland to try to reset and get those defenders back.
Ava Booth. So again, a 2-1 lead. That for McFarland, scoring a goal 25 seconds officially out of halftime. Greta Blau with that goal. Cindy Fellner was there for support, but no assist credited her direction as she has a goal, and that came in the 39th minute. That was assisted by Greta Blau, but again, those two right on top, putting the pressure on Plymouth. A couple of different occasions.
You see players like Blau and Feldner, they just have that extra special something together and practice together every day, played together for a long time, and they know how the other one thinks, and you can't coach that. That's something that just becomes an innate thing about two great players who play together a long time.
That was Blakesley. Off the turn by Greta Blau. Blakesley. Oncoming was Batzner.
Great hustle there on the far side by the Panthers.
Back outside with at least Gillen out there. And Gillen seen it roll out with a goal kick being awarded.
Up on the board, McFarland with a pretty sizable advantage in shots, but like you said in the first half, someone just watching the live stats doesn't really give the story.
No.
Because it's possession really quite even between these two teams.
Emma Welsh passing it out and stepping in front. It's knocked away by Blakesley.
Counterattack's really been strong for McFarland late in the first half and again here early in the second, and largely because their forwards are really willing to press the defenders. Sometimes forwards don't see their role as being defenders, but the minute they give up the ball, that's exactly what they become.
Kulo up this left wing. Munson. Nice find. Batzner. And you're right now there's been a heavy emphasis on getting that ball to Batzner. Get her in open space.
Ran a nice play. Munson drew the outside midfielder, and making a nice little run through there was Batzner. If they would have got a little better pass there, might have been able to get something going inside.
Let it back out. Kick back out and played there by Ava Strassner. Remember, too, right now with McFarland, again, showing the depth of this team with 14 different goal scorers, 18 different point getters. all this right now happening with Avery Pennekamp, their top goal and point getter, on the bench. And she had a couple of looks all in the same sequence in that first half.
Yeah,
nearly giving McFarland a goal. 2
really good chances, hit the crossbar, and then had the wherewithal to try to put in the rebound. And really nothing but great play by Tess Hunn, keeping her out of the net.
Bruchelle. And stepping up, Blakesley.
Blakesley not quite as physical. Need to be a little bit more physical to win that ball there and have a shot opportunity.
Jalen White.
Wow, what a ball.
Intended for Cindy Feldner. I don't mind a long ball like that, especially with what Feldner's been able to do with her speed.
Yeah, you don't want to go that long ball too often, but that was just pinpoint perfect from Jaden White. Now she makes a mistake, bit of back on her heels.
As Batsner, with White going down, we'll throw it in here for Plymouth. Batsner, Knowles, and a throw in here for Plymouth. This nice for Maggie Munson.
Nice catch by the dad down in front. Maybe that's the Tess Hoon's dad. Good hands by one of the Plymouth fans, gobbling that ball up.
Blau, that being Stella Blau. And a takeaway for Ava Booth.
Booth putting good pressure on Blau, and she had to make a recovery run. If you kind of look, there's a lot of room for Blau right there in the middle. Not getting a lot of attention. If she can make 2 touches maybe and distribute, she's going to have lots of time to make that distribution. Plymouth that time trying to get the quick throw in, but unfortunately, and they were subbing. Not always the way things go. Sometimes you want to get that quick throw and you have the sub waiting and you like to pull him back at the last minute.
Plymouth a little bit deeper as we have a stoppage of the clock. There's a player down for McFarland, and limping off the field right now is Ava Dean. Plymouth has subbed in Cassie Pilling. First time she has seen the field here at State, sophomore.
I think Avery Pennekamp up and back into action here for McFarland. It looks like they're going to keep her in the midfield, more of her natural, normal position. Playing her on that outside mid. She's going to have to do a lot of running.
Sikulo. That is kicked out by Jalen White. So a Panthers throwing for Haley Batsner. With a second soccer ball finding the field. Now that could be fun.
That could be fun. We used to run a drill that way when I coached, with 2 balls on the field at a time. Oh, nice turn.
Fellner. With Greta Blau in front of her. And left it to be cleared by Strassner.
That's the kind of ball that I think if Avery Pennekamp is healthy, she's able to run onto that, because that's who the intended receiver was of that ball. Just doesn't quite have the wheels that she normally would as she deals with that foot injury.
Well, Batsner, who's been busy so far in this second half, or at least has been a focal point for the Plymouth attack.
Great ball in the middle. Alert play by Elise Gillen, because that ball was right down the middle and Munson was 1 step away from being in the open.
That foul's going to go against Haley Batsner. And help back up is Sarah Blakesley.
Hard foul there. Referee Mark Herdeman saying there was a hold on the way down, I believe was the call. A lot of contact. Good physical soccer, nothing dirty, nothing like that, but the players playing hard, and that means once in a while they're going to bump into each other and knock each other over. As long as the arms are in and the shoulder to shoulder, they're going to let them play. Are starting to see a little bit of fatigue, as you're going to expect. Just looking at Haley Batsner up here. She's made a lot of runs up and down the field and breathing a little deeper, trying to catch her breath. Almost to the 1 hour mark of this one. Still 30 minutes to go.
You almost wonder if these two teams, instead of pacing themselves out of halftime, maybe jump the gun a little too quick out of halftime and now come back down to earth after we saw some great scoring chances in the first 30-plus seconds. One that went in 25 seconds out of halftime for Greta Blau, your difference maker as we speak, but then a near equalizer came shortly thereafter.
Ball deep out there. Nicely played by the Plymouth defense. They earned themselves a deep throw-in. These are the times where if you're McFarland, you want to step that pressure up here just a little bit. Ball is deep in your end. If you can create a turnover and get an opportunity. Nice view with the fans in the way. Not quite sure what's happening there.
Well, the ball is out, resulting in a corner here for McFarland. That's what's taking place here with Jalen White.
Fourth corner opportunity here for the, I think the fourth for the Spartans.
It is, yep.
And see if they change their action here a little bit. Haven't really attacked far to that post. Earlier this afternoon really ran a hard run. It looks like they're coming near post.
Boy, a chance there at a header. And give that shot attempt to at least Gillen.
Gillen coming up and being dangerous. Sometimes those defenders, they're good, hard, physical players. She's not that tall, but getting ahead on it. There was one case where, Jalen White putting a really good ball there toward that far post. That was a dangerous chance.
Added her 3-goal total on the year.
I would guess, having just watched them play today in a couple matches, that those are probably restart goals.
Well, Stella Blau on the foul, knocking down Maggie Munson.
Little rough and tumble after the play. Plymouth bench getting a little verbal warning there from our center referee. I've been the recipient of that warning myself from Mark, so I recognize what it looks like.
Yeah, Brad Fike on the sideline for Plymouth. Darren Munson and John Lenz, the two assistants. That is Darren Munson, yes, the dad of Maggie Munson. He was the head coach of Plymouth when they were last at state in 2000. And now here he is as an assistant for Brad Fike. Only back in 2000 he qualified for state. That was in Madison, so this is his first opportunity here in a state tournament environment.
Pretty sure one of the moms on that team also has a daughter on this squad here for Plymouth. Yeah, you look at those 20 years. Again, lots of eagerness to be back here. And again, the first time here at Eline. Special, special place.
Coach Fike said this team has been working toward this goal a couple of years and only brought back about 6 players from 2019, 4 of which were starters for that 11-7 squad.
Yeah, really a nice breakthrough for Plymouth. A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores. Knew that this group was coming up through the program, through the youth program, and definitely paying their dividends as they're playing here for a state title.
Well, they had a daunting task back in 2019 in Division II. They had to beat Brookfield East just to get out of the sectional semi-final round of play. That Greater Metro Conference is no joke. And lost to Brookfield East by a 6-1 score. That was a Plymouth team that finished in second place behind Winneconne, who has been a state qualifier in the past.
Yeah, those enrollment shifts that happen. I mean, who would have thought several years ago Brookfield East would be a Division II school? And yet they've been down there.
But who also thought at some point, the way the brackets played out, and this happened on the boys' side, you could have a Brookfield East, Brookfield Central State Championship matchup.
There you go.
I mean, stranger things have happened, but you're right. There have been some unique shifting of teams in what division, but also when you look at brackets, who is where. Plymouth a school of 763, McFarland a school of 743, battling here in this D3 championship matchup.
Can't get much closer than that.
No.
I think as you see soccer continue to grow, you're getting more programs, and as you get more programs, especially in Divisions 3 and 4, then you see some of these shifts in terms of the number of schools. Good job by the Plymouth squad there, calling for it. There was Emma Adema and taking the back pass, and too often teams are thinking too much vertical, and that time nice job changing the point of attack by passing the ball backward.
Great hustle by Sarah Welsh. Stepping in front did Jalen White.
Last few minutes, Plymouth starting to play maybe a little bit too direct. You know, they were successful earlier getting numbers. We saw a carbon copy of that.
Fellner again on the move.
And of course, who passed it to her but Greta Blau. Good job by Tess Hune to come off her line and take care of business there.
Emma Welsh. Down she goes with a McFarland foul. So we are down to about less than 25 minutes left here in regulation. Wrapping up the second and final day of the 38th annual WIAA Girls Soccer Tournament, wrapping up the 2020-21 high school soccer season. All those seniors will have an opportunity to play in the All-Star game, boys and girls All-Star games next month, hosted in Wauwatosa. But as mentioned, training camp not far behind for colleges, and so for some, moving on, and it's going to be a quick breather before refocusing their soccer talents.
Playing in Tosa this year, been at Whitewater for the last several years. Good to see that bump around just a little bit. Give some different communities a chance. It's a great event. A lot of great opportunities for kids to play with some really high quality players.
I'm just happy to see it in real life this year versus the video game form. Very unique. Certainly it's what you had to do during a pandemic, but very unique situation a summer ago.
I know, I heard your new nickname is Tecmo Menzel.
Yeah, look out. And look out for Munson. Munson trying to stay with it. Munson cannot get it in the back of the net, and a great job by Gillen defensively to keep that one from crossing the goal line.
Boy, that looked like Munson was free. Gillen with good hustle, made her rush the shot, and then Hildebrandt there to move it out just far enough, and that was very close to a 2-2 tie.
Somebody get Elise Gillen a breather right now. You can just tell she's limping a little bit. She's still trying to catch her breath. That was quite the display, and Maggie Munson nearly tying this game up.
Joan asking for a sub. That's a key minute here, Matt, in the 67th. That could have very well been a 2-2 draw.
Almost a team save there, and trying to help out Katie Hildebrandt.
And go right back at her here.
So back outside, Emma Welsh.
Oh, nice sweep move on the end line.
And again, look who's there as the roadblock. So Elise Gillen again stepping up for McFarland.
Beautiful little slide move down the end line. Got around the defender, forced Gillen to do that, and she is gassed. Trying to catch her breath, hands down her knees. They do have a sub waiting, but can't sub here as it's a Plymouth goal corner kick.
Their third is to be taken by Emma Welsh. Keeping it low, Munson bounces by. Plate comes out.
Nice
Kulo.
job finding the space.
Now a short pass here with Emma Adama, the freshman defender.
Much better shape from Plymouth here this last 3 to 4 minutes.
They're coming close, and Addie Plate. Again, a touch involving Haley Batzner. And again, we mentioned it. If you look at numbers, you'd say, No, Plymouth hasn't come close. It's 11-4. McFarland in shots, but again, that's not the telling tale of what has been quite the last few minutes for this Panther team, keeping the pressure on and keeping Hildebrandt on and off her feet for that matter.
Really key substitution here for McFarland as they pull out the center back, Gillen, and I think, can't quite read the number there, who took her place, but.
Well, for McFarland, you have Megan Gates for Emily Blattner.
Oh, they left Gillen in. Okay, it was Blattner that came off. Gillen looked like she could hardly run, but it's going to stay on here.
She's right now out there at top of the 18. But as you mentioned, she's still huffing and puffing. But she's come up in a big way, not once but twice. No, for Plymouth, Ava Booth in for Tara Gilbertson.
Really important for Plymouth. They've controlled this last 5 to 8 minutes, almost 10 minutes or so. And it's really been because they've played a little bit better passing game in the midfield. And they're starting to wear down that defense in the back for McFarland. So really important that they continue to do that and not get goal happy too quick, not think they got to push the ball down the field. They have plenty of time. We've got 20 minutes left.
And one goal is nothing for this Plymouth attack. When you scored 140 on the year, no need to panic.
One goal might just break the seal, and they might get 1 or 2 more.
No kidding. They had 9 in the first half against Freedom Saturday in that sectional final. Emma Welsh. Well, Mark Herdeman trying to do his best to get out of the way.
His partners will give him a hard time about
sure.
that. It's a little tradition that referees often follow. See his partner smiling and getting a little laugh out of that.
Well, it's Kulo and the Panthers to put it back into play. Batzner right back out. And Greta Blau upfield for McFarland. Boy, Sydney Fellner, we've talked about her speed. With that speed, she is forced, in this case Plymouth, to make some mistakes or just rush a pass, rush a shot, and in this case, turn it over.
Yeah, right, makes those good hard diagonal runs. Never see her running vertically down the field when she doesn't have the ball. She's always running at an angle. And that's the way you get those opportunities, and your teammates get in sync with that. So often players run vertically. It's very easy to mark a player that's running vertically, but on the diagonal, they're picking the shoulder, often opening themselves up and facing the ball, playing the way they face, and able to get a hold of it.
Back outside with Avery Pennekamp. She blew by. Here comes Plymouth on the outside with Knowles. Upfield Munson. Bouchel there in the markup for McFarland. Strassner.
Well done by Strassner. Had a little pressure coming on her there and put it off the McFarland defender. We get Ava Booth coming back in to the lineup for the Panthers.
Yeah, that lineup now, that substitution now becoming official with Booth for Gilbertson.
Good to see Pennekamp finding some pace there. She's a dangerous player. Kind of gets forgotten.
And stays with it and passes to Greta Blau, who then sends it ahead, and guess who? Another for Sydney Fellner, and she's able to bury the shot. Sydney Fellner from Greta Blau. It's 3-1 McFarland.
What another combination. We talked a little while ago about making those runs. That time Fellner dragging laterally across, got the ball, made a nice move, was willing to come all the way across the field, turn her shoulders at the last minute, and bury it in the corner. And it's a 2-goal lead, a big 2-goal lead here for McFarland.
Her second goal in this championship matchup, her third on the day. And it all started Avery Pennekamp to Greta Blau to Sydney Fellner, and McFarland with a 3-1 lead.
Ooh, we have an injury down. Player grabbing their knee right in the center of the field. Do not like to see players grab their knee like that.
That's Stella Blau.
Stoppage of play here in the 73rd. Didn't look like she had contact there, and training staff along with Coach TJ DePrizio coming over, and players going to their benches. And if you're Plymouth right now, getting your team together and saying, here's what we got to do. We still have 17 minutes, just over 17 minutes to play. And we're not out of this yet. Like we said before, the number of goals they've scored, their ability to score goals. Panthers just need to find the momentum here and work this back one goal at a time.
You know, Greg, I was thinking about it. You look at the play of Sydney Fellner now with 3 goals on the day, and in some divisions, 3 goals in a state tournament would be or tie a record. But in Division 3, good luck on ever setting or matching the record, because Ozaki had a player back in 2005. Ashley Bars, over 200 career goals, ended up going to Marquette. Now an assistant coach at Iowa State. 7 goals in 1 game. A semifinal back in 05 against St. Mary's Central. She had 8 goals that year in the tournament. She had the game-winning goal the next day in the championship that year against Aquinas. So 3's great, but 8, good luck.
Good luck matching that. And, hey, good news for McFarland, and probably even more good news for Stella Blau. Was able to get up and walk off the field. Training staff will continue to work with her, but certainly don't want to see a player suffer a devastating injury at this point in the game. Stella, just a freshman, long career ahead of her. And here we go. Substitution in for her. That's Sierra Binger.
Yep.
Binger played some significant minutes in the first game today. Did a nice job physically, really creating some problems for the New Berlin Eisenhower defense.
Emily Blattner in for McFarland.
Be interesting to watch how Coach DePrizio and his staff, how they play this as we get down toward the last 10 minutes. If they take Feldner or take Greta Blau, they actually took Blau and played her a little bit more defensively in that semifinal against New Berlin Eisenhower as time was winding down, just to give a little bit of extra stability.
Freeman of the pass for Greta Blau. Blattner. Seen it roll out.
They've used the speed of Maggie Munson a couple times. She's back in midfield a little more now. See once they can set her up for an overlapping run. And again, noisy for a while was Haley Batzner. And see once that they can't get her involved over here on the left side. She's being shadowed by Sarah Blakesley.
Munson's throw and taken away by Pennekamp. Able to fight through injury, an injury that has plagued her throughout, but re-aggravated during the semifinal earlier today and found her way back in the starting lineup for this Division III championship matchup. And for Pennekamp, 51 minutes or so logged so far to the first, now 75. Kicked out by Greta Blau. We're throwing for Chloe Kulo.
Pulling Blau back just a little bit.
And downfield again with Sarah Welch. Tess Hune.
Like the pass a lot. Welch had momentum going toward the goal. Might as well get that ball nicely on the ground to your keeper. She can redirect that momentum. Good physics lesson for our soccer students out there.
Blakesley.
Into the final quarter hour here. Pressure's going to mount here on the Panthers. They want to get one of these 2 goals back, ideally before you get to that last 7-8 minutes or so.
Kulo. She went to survey the field. A little wide with Welsh. Strassner.
Yeah, Welsh's teammates need to tell her she had space. She didn't really need to take that fairly wild long whack at the ball. Had space to keep dribbling. Here we go again.
Sending it ahead with Sierra Binger, and Binger is able to score! She just subbed in, and McFarland has taken a 4-1 lead.
Huge goal there by Binger. Started him a little bit higher with, once again, Blau and Feldner, but Binger able to spring through, put a nice low shot on, and 4 goals allowed by Plymouth. And McFarland with a 3-goal lead here, Matt. And they are tasting a championship in the bleachers down to our left.
Plymouth had allowed 4 goals all year. They have allowed 4 goals in this game alone. And Binger able to score her 7th on the year. You had Sydney Feldner in the mix. A couple of goals now in about a 4-minute span. Again, you have Plymouth trying to answer.
Great shot made there. I think that Katie Hildebrand had that post covered, but did dive just to be safe.
Emma Welch with the look. Sydney Feldner with the assist on the goal scored by Binger. Feldner with 2 goals, 1 helper. Britta Blau with 1 goal, 1 assist. And now Binger with a goal.
And you really like to see that. Players that are good scorers also be good. As you said, I love the word. You use the word helper because they learn, the best scorers learn that if you give the ball up, you're going to get your opportunities too. Here's Binger again.
So 3 goals here in the second half after this game was tied at 1 at the break. Britta Blau right now with the difference maker, 25 seconds at a halftime. Set the tone for this second half for the Spartans.
It sounds like Plymouth hasn't had their chances. They just haven't been able to convert. And really efficient play by McFarland in this half. When they've had the opportunities, they've cashed them in.
Booth. Well, McFarland, 4th time at state. They were here in 1991. 2007, they lost the Division II championship matchup by this 4-1 score to Catholic Memorial. And then in 2008, it was a shootout to determine their fate in a semifinal. Now fast forward 13 years, and they're over 11 minutes away from the school's first girls soccer championship and their second soccer championship in about a month's time after the boys won the Division II alternate season title over Notre Dame Academy last month.
Once again, a nice clear. Back in there in the middle, Elise Gillen. She had a great game. Really, really shone, really stepped up well.
Left back here by Sarah Welch.
Again, getting the ball spread out. That's what they've got to do. Got to get some 1-2 combinations just like that one here, and they got some space.
Plate. Tough pass net for Munson again. He's Gillen able to step up. And let's talk about her play, too, because she came up with a couple of blocks, couple of stops, helping out Katie Hildebrand when the game was still 2-1.
Yeah, and she made that, most notably the run where she pressured Munson, didn't give up, pressured her into forcing a little bit quicker shot than she would have liked. And Munson got to use her speed here, and that doesn't mean just playing long balls. Like to see her check back to the ball, collect, and maybe turn, spin around that defender a little better, just like Plate did right there. Ball goes out of bounds. That's the right idea. Instead of just running vertically down the field, come back, collect the ball. Maybe you can get a drop and go. In the case of Munson, maybe she can make a little move one-on-one and get around the defender that's pressuring on her.
After an injury scare, Ava Dean back on for McFarland. Megan Gates back on for the Spartans.
And a nice hand from the Spartan faithful. Only a few minutes played by the substitute that just scored the goal for them.
Yeah, Sierra Binger, 8 minutes played.
But scores a big goal that really has given them a cushion that it's going to be really hard to overcome.
Munson. And the clearance by McFarland. Greg, let me get your thoughts as this one winds down. You see the Panthers still trying to keep the pressure on, but the Spartans knocking it right back toward midfield. Look at this day that we've had, the 2 days we've had here in Milwaukee. We had Whitefish Bay winning a D2 title, DSHA in D1 earlier, thanks to a shootout, a D4 title for Brookfield Academy. But there's a chance for the Spartans, and Pennicamp kicked it right at Teshune. But your thoughts on the soccer we've seen play out as we wrap up the 38th WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament?
Well, we see the number 1 seeds come through in the first 3 championship games, and in this one we're not seeing the number 1 seed, but we are seeing the number 1 team in the rankings. And you know what? Been some really good games. I would say some teams maybe felt that they performed not as well as they would have liked. I know none of us expected to see DSHA get pushed like they did, but nevertheless they're able to get the job done.
And you know we're winding down here in the tournament because they are giving away free hot food in the concession stand while supplies last. And it is I'll tell you what, I've never seen fans run so quickly to the concession stand like we are seeing as we speak. It's quite the scene here at the Eline Soccer Park.
Kind of a tradition here on the last game of the day.
Guess. I'll tell you what, the mozzarella sticks are definitely worth it.
They're not bringing them up here,
though.
No,
that's unfortunate.
Oh, look at that. I spoke too soon. Here come the hot dogs.
Ooh. Where's the, 83rd minute. We got mozzarella sticks. Hot dog it is. There we go. That's service.
Never a dull moment up here in the press box.
No kidding. You know it's the last game.
But we got some time to play here.
This is true. It's the 83rd minute, a 4-1 lead.
Got to get our focus back here. And, hey, Plymouth with a corner kick here. Panthers, of course, like to get another one on the board here. 7 minutes to go. Great job by the kicker staff here. Doing everything here, even feeding the announcing crew.
Well, corner here for the Plymouth Panthers. Plate off her right foot and knocked back out. I'll tell you this, that's the most excited announcement, or the most excited I've seen this crowd off an announcement that we've heard maybe in years. I mean, the place went bananas. It was a dash for the concession stand.
Good thing WIA staff down there. Oh, nice shot.
Wow, Ava Booth.
And the keeper coming out there, Katie Hildebrandt, making a play on that one. And once again, they're in the middle of it defensively. Imagine that. Gillen has had a great game today.
Outstanding and helping out Katie Hildebrandt.
Another corner coming here. Plymouth trying to get something on that. Give the Panthers credit, still pressuring hard. Still trying to get things moving here. Coach is still coaching up the kids, that's what you want. Obviously some disappointment because they came here with high hopes of coming home with a gold ball, but boy, they just met their match here today. And this McFarland squad, some really special players, especially that combination up front of Blau and Feldner.
Look at these rosters, and both teams losing 6 seniors, and so I guess big picture, yeah, you're losing some key components on both ends, but there's a good number of talented players back, and I know it's easier said than done to get back here a year from now, but I would tell you the futures are very bright for both of these programs, and if you're McFarland about to wrap up an undefeated season, Plymouth 1 loss all year in a total of 19 games after they went 11-7 a couple of years ago, and so they've only gotten better in a short amount of time.
Well, it's going to be another full year again before the calendar is going to turn to 2022 before McFarland loses. They're going to have a 4-year winning streak.
Unbelievable. 2018, the last time this Spartan team suffered defeat.
Going to be a long winning streak. I don't know the statistics. I'm guessing Catholic Memorial and some of their squads had a long unbeaten streak, but that one's got to be up there quite a ways. And like to see what Plymouth's doing, subbing out a couple of their players, maybe getting some seniors on the field.
The big question, though, if you're Plymouth, you have to have answered is who's your goalkeeper? Tessiuna, senior, she'll be gone. Elena Struve, who has logged 26 minutes between the posts, also plays the field. She's a senior, and so your starter and your backup, they'll be gone. So that's one of the big gaps, one of the big holes that needs to be filled. Emma Welsh is a senior, top goal scorer. Addie Plate is a senior, and so they will take a little bit of a bump from their 140 goals scored this season.
You know, McFarland in the same boat. Starting keeper Katie Hildebrand, backup Lucy Hodgkins, both of them are seniors. So, you know, good goalkeeping, boy, that can cover a lot of mistakes in the back. And both these teams going to look to have to look to address that need. Probably have some players coming up through the JV program. Nice job by Hildebrandt. Tested a little bit here, but really that time good choice coming off the line. Athletic goalkeeper. You get a 6'2" basketball player to be your goalie. They've got good hands, they've got good instincts. Even if they don't know that much about soccer when they start, you're starting with some real tools that are really important.
Back of field taken away here for Plymouth. Found the takeaway with Chloe Kulo. Again, when this is all said and done, McFarland will wrap up a year at 16-0, Plymouth at 18-1. Their first loss since a sectional semifinal to wrap up the 2019 campaign. That was a 6-1 setback against Brookfield East.
Defense staying really nice and tight by McFarland. You know, with this little bit of time on the clock, a little bit less efficiency with the touch, taking a touch and trying to put the ball out. You know, those players are tired, already hugging each other. Look at the job Jalen White and did at the outside back. Elise Gillen and the inside there. Fine job defensively as they've controlled and really other than one little ball there, keeping this Plymouth offense very, very potent, keeping them off the board, allowing just one goal.
Among a couple of changes for Plymouth, Allie Kolchin has subbed in. This for Plymouth will be the furthest advancement they've ever had in program history, finishing as a runner-up. McFarland about to win their first girls soccer state championship after being a runner-up in their only other championship game appearance back in 2007.
Certainly some disappointment for Plymouth, but you haven't been here in 20 years. You made it this far. You're number one ranked, or number one seed, and you lost to a very worthy opponent, the number one ranked team in the state. And they'll have that silver ball in the trophy case.
Only one more before all said and done. A game that would see Plymouth strike first in the 30th minute. Addie Plate with 4 unanswered for McFarland. Sydney Felder in the 39th minute. Greta Blau, the game winner, 25 seconds of the halftime in the 46th. Sydney Felder in the 73rd. And Sierra Binger in the 77th. What's going to be a 4-1 victory for a team that finished number 1 in the final Division III state rankings, but came in seeded number 2 here at state, and they take down top-seeded Plymouth, who finished number 3 in Division III, again by this 4-1 score.
A lot of tired players, a lot of happy players there wearing the white jerseys, and no reason at all for Plymouth to hang their heads. Had a great season, played a great match. That goal early in the second half, really the difference maker.
The McFarland Spartans, for the first time in program history, have won a girls soccer state championship. They bring home the 2021 Division III Golden Ball with this 4-1 victory.
Another nice Nice job by TJ DiPrizio and his squad. Again, tough day for all these teams playing 2 matches in a day, but in the end it was McFarland really changing the whole momentum of the match with that goal to begin the second half.
So the 38th WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament comes to a close. In Division 4, Brookfield Academy brought home a title thanks to a shootout. In Division 3, it's McFarland for the first time in program history. In Division 2, Whitefish Bay, 7-0 over Notre Dame Academy. And in Division 1, a victory for DSHA by the final score of 2-1. Thanks to our entire crew behind the scenes, from our broadcast partner Greg Zonefeld, Matt Middlesaint, so long from Kohler Engine Stadium, D-Line Soccer Park in Milwaukee. Again, your final is Division 3 championship matchup. McFarland knocks off Plymouth by a 4-1 score to lay claim to the Division 3 Golden Ball. You've been watching the 38th annual WIAA Girls Soccer State Tournament on the NFHS Network. So long, everybody.
WIAA Board of Control invites you to participate in the award ceremony for these 2 fine teams that have just completed tournament competition. First, we ask each player to come forward as their name is read to receive their individual medal for the runner-up, Plymouth Panthers. Alana Screw. Tess Hume. Haley Baxter. Ava Booth. Melina Knowles. Chloe Hula. Taylor Trickle. Sarah Welch. Abby Blake. Emma Adama. Cassie Gillis. Maggie Munson. Katie Newman. Emma Welch. Ava Strosser. Ali Hopton. And Tara Gilbertson. Will Coach Brad Buck please come forward to receive the trophy for the runner-up, Plymouth Panthers. come forward as their name is read to receive their individual medal from the 2021 WIAA Division III State Champion, Will Coach TJ DeCruzio please come forward to receive the trophy for the champion, McFarland Spartans.
I was picking the boys up after practice when they're like, can we get Quick Trip? Actually, that was my plan. What Quick Trip's take-home meals being, as the Quick Trip lady says, freshly made and absolutely delicious. But opportunity knocked. I go, if you let Dad give you haircuts, and they say, deal. At Quick Trip, the boys are like spaghetti, chicken tenders, mac and cheese. After an easy dinner, it was time to pay the piper. Dad's like, who's next? A deal's a deal.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
It's all about timing and rhythm for me. How I'm catching the water, what my legs are doing, my arm speed, the little things add up. I think I've been chasing time for as long as I can remember.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
I was picking the boys up after practice when they're like, can we get Quick Trip? Actually, that was my plan. What with Quick Trip's take-home meals being, as the Quick Trip lady says, freshly made and absolutely delicious. But opportunity knocked. I go, if you let Dad give you haircuts, and they say, deal. At Quick Trip, the boys are like spaghetti, chicken tenders, mac and cheese. After an easy dinner, it was time to pay the piper. Dad's like, who's next? A deal's a deal.
Quick Trip, we got you covered.
Farming is more than just a job because it demands so much of you. Every day I'm with the people that I care about the most. We accomplish or we fail together.
Thank you for supporting Wisconsin dairy farmers. Look for the badge when shopping.
We farm because we believe this is the best place for us to raise our family. That they would be side by side with us, interacting with our animals and the land. That's part of growing up on a farm.
Thank you for supporting Wisconsin dairy farmers. Look for the badge when shopping.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Wisconsin is one of those certain places with certain people who do a certain thing better than anyone else, anywhere. In Wisconsin, we dream in cheese. Look for our badge. It's on everything we make.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. WEAbenefits.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 180,000 participants here in Wisconsin who take part in high school sports. There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.